our community in multiple locations, take a moment to greet one another. Hi, Zoom people. We have a few announcements today. The writing group will meet tomorrow night from 7 to 8:30. It's live or on Zoom. The topic this month is the connection between a particular song and a particular time and place in your life. The theology discussion group is meeting on Saturday. You don't need to prep or RSVP to that. It's a one-time shot. You don't have to be involved in those classes all along. You can just go. On June 28th, there'll be an overnight camping trip that's going to bring together people from the 3 churches that Steve services. Open mic is Friday night, June 6th. And please mark your calendars for next Sunday, June 8th, for our annual meeting. That will take place right after church. Any other announcements, Renee?
Not on.
No. You have to turn both of them. Yep. There you go.
I bet you can hear me now. Okay, so I set up coffee hour, and there is something absolutely beautiful in the refrigerator, but it is unlabeled, and nobody has told me that it's for coffee hour. So I'm not going to put it out unless somebody says, oh yes, please do. So the other thing is I have my sign-up sheet for people to bring things, and if you don't want to bring something very elaborate, that's okay. Things like crackers and bars of cheese are fine, that kind of thing, so we can talk about it. No, this is like into perpetuity. Yeah. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to talk to me. Thanks.
Our opening words today are by the Reverend Gretchen Haley. It's titled The Healing in Freedom. Freedom has a rhythm to it, a longing our bodies know without words, a movement away from everything small and scared, a waking up to possibility, healing backwards and forwards. Even now, we are beginning again, unafraid of this much mercy, tenderness, pleasure we come to lean in, to learn the sound of liberation like the sound of our names, receiving and releasing. We come to be free for more than ourselves, to call love the greatest liberty, to sing of loyalty, courage, and kindness, to remember we are all doing the best we can. Despair hasn't gotten us yet, nor overwhelm, which is a kind of miracle, surrounded as we are by this much beauty. Come, let us worship together. Our chalice lighting is by Reverend Tracy Johnson. We kindle our chalice flame this morning, awakening the fire of our ancestors in our hearts, beacon of freedom held out to light the way. Please stand as you are able for hymn number 116, I'm on my way.
That was rousing. This reading is by D. Scott Cooper. We imagine a path. We bow our heads in order to imagine not one path, but many. We imagine a path forward for those who cannot imagine a path, any path forward, because of poor health, financial hardship, family crisis, and other roadblocks we cannot begin to understand or imagine. We struggle to imagine a path forward for those who are forced to leave a homeland against their will, and for those unable to leave a war-torn homeland despite their lives being in danger. We imagine a path forward for those who leave their homes to make a better life for their families elsewhere. May we be a welcoming presence along that path toward hope. We come together to imagine a path forward for those who are despairing because we do not seem to know our country nor our neighbors, despite the fact that we have not moved at all. May we be the good we are hoping to find as we travel side by side down the path toward hope. We imagine a path forward for those who feel lonely. May we take one another's hands as we walk that path toward community. Truly, we know as we imagine these ways forward and take one another's hands, the paths will lead to hope. The roads will lead to beloved community, and the arc will bend toward justice because we have dared to travel with love in our hearts. Now is the time for our joys and sorrows. We bring our individual joys and sorrows into the midst of this congregation by dropping a stone into the vessel. If you would like to speak briefly, please come forward.
Please join me in a prayer written by Reverend Marta Valentin, who is close by in Massachusetts. It's a prayer for freedom. Spirit of truth and justice, hear us as we ask that you hold the collective anxiety that permeates this fear-filled situation. This, today, is a call to arms. Arms that will hold broken hearts and elated hearts, arms that wrap themselves around a body beaten, transfigured in truth and metaphorically, arms that provide a strength neither giver nor receiver knew they possessed, arms that hold up the sky of misplaced authority and righteousness from crashing down upon the heads struggling to be held high as each shred of dignity is yanked from their tired, overused, unappreciated bodies. This is a call for committed arms to continue leading heads and hearts to know the facts but feel the truth. A call to remember that the freedom that we've been given to swing our arms as wide and open to the sun as we like has come on the back of humans others wish were invisible. This is a call to arms. Arm ourselves with the facts, but let's feel the truth, born out of the power of our Unitarian Universalist love and the balance of justice. Thank you. Today's offering is to support the good works of this church, and our half plate goes, in the whole month of June, goes to an organization in Worcester called Safe Homes. Safe Homes is a program supporting lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, questioning, intersex, and asexual LGBTQIA+ young people and their straight allies between the critical ages of 14 and 23. The group is led by youth peer leaders, professional staff, and volunteers who offer support, resources, and opportunities for socialization in a caring and nurturing environment. Please give as generously as you are able to both support the church and this vital organization. Thank you.
I'm reading a poem today by Rosemary Watola Tromer. It's called Perhaps It Would Eventually Fade, But. That rock that we have been pushing up the hill, that one that keeps rolling back down and we keep pushing back up. What if we stopped? We're not Sisyphus. This rock is not a punishment. It's something we've chosen to push. Who knows why? I look at the names we once carved into its sedimentary sides. How important I thought they were, those names. How I've clung to labels, who's right, who's wrong. How I've cared about who's pushed harder and who's been slack. Now, all I want is to let the rock roll back to where it belongs, which is wherever it lands. And you and I could imagine, walk unencumbered all the way to the top and walk and never stop, except to discover what our hands might do once they were no longer pushing.
Today's sermon was written by Pastor Joshua Berg. It was written for the Martin Luther King Jr. service at his church, and these are his words. In my youth, from my vantage of privilege, it always felt great to accept that the U.S. is the land of the free and the home of the brave. Needless to say, I have since become quite disillusioned with this country. I do, however, maintain that we can strive to be a land of freedoms, but only if we are indeed the home of the brave of heart and spirit. The F word, freedom, is never pure, but rather an ever-shifting point around which humankind oscillates, moving forward and back along the continuum between anarchy and authoritarianism. Further, the work to move that point into just the right place never ends. There are freedoms many enjoy, just as many others do not, and freedoms are forever gained and lost. As my awareness of the complexity of the idea of freedom came into greater focus, I also understood better how the price of that awareness, the price of knowledge, and especially the price of having freedoms at all, is indeed vigilance. Vigilance to catch myself when I choose to rest on laurels or evade responsibility. Vigilant courage to take essential risks. And in the coming years, it will take a vigilance greater than I could have ever imagined to dispel lies with truth and undertake another F word, the fight to keep freedoms we have and enact the restorative justice necessary to reverse injustices lest they continue to restrict all our freedoms. For revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy, America reigns without a rival. Not my words. Those words were spoken at the Ladies' Anti-Slavery Society of Rochester, New York in 1852 by renowned American author, orator, statesman, abolitionist, and escaped slave Frederick Douglass. In his speech, "What to the slaves is the 4th of July?" The fact is, Douglass states, the distance between this platform on which he stood and the slave plantation from which he escaped is considerable. He spoke on the 5th of July because, as he reminded the crowd, the 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, I must mourn. Inconceivably, these words of one of our most important 19th century American ancestors, talking truth to power about the fact of our country's dehumanizing his fellow African Americans, will be censored or banned altogether from school curriculums because they would hurt white people's feelings or make them look bad. This is unconscionable. Denial of history is just one tactic in the current drive by the right to implement policies that deny civil and human rights. Instead of being accountable for our honest history, sustaining the falsehoods and delusions of some insatiable, unattainable idea of freedom, or worse yet, pretending true freedom exists in the midst of significant subjugation, consigns all of society to permanent bondage. How can we fight for freedom in the face of deception and move the point toward universal liberty? We must never stop claiming freedom as imperfectible while lifting up the realities of history, as painful as they are. This week, as we celebrate the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we lift up some of those realities. We acknowledge racism as one of many intersecting prejudices in this country. Throughout our history, the government of the U.S. has systematically and forcibly prevented African Americans access to resources and opportunities while facilitating easy access to the same for white people for hundreds of years. Not only does it continue to do so in more insidious ways, the repercussions of those generations of inequality resonate powerfully still. As a white person whose ancestors have cached privilege for years, my ability to, for instance, get a loan to buy a car or drive it without fearing arrest far outweighs the ability of my African American contemporary who has the additional burden of overcoming generations of injustice. And racism intersects with many other prejudices, including gender, identity, sexuality, class, and more. A tragic irony is that those in power who collude to restrict others' freedoms don't understand if they retain what they consider freedom by denying safety and freedoms to others, they too are not truly free. With their assumed freedoms being tenuous at best, what follows is the country falling victim to a destructive desperation to hold on to them. The U.S. is currently dominated by many so desperate to hold on to power and wealth, they are willing to deceive and manipulate. They use means ranging from providing another F word, fear, as well as anger, and direct violence, to hiding like cowards behind illegitimate protections, often masquerading as straightforwardly established law. In the face of this, how can we fight for freedom? Is living our UU values through love enough? Is it doing any good? People are rightfully frustrated, angry, fearful, despondent, confused, and having so many other hard feelings as an administration that is the antithesis of everything MLK Jr. stood for, takes control of our government on the same day we celebrate him. Those hard feelings lead to a questioning of what good is it to love and have hope. I regularly feel like shouting to the rafters, no, forget love. We need to focus on our value of justice, pure and simple. But justice preserves only what love reunites, contends the theologian Paul Tillich. Justice, he states, is violated when another's power of being is rejected. Justice is the form in which and through love performs its work. Not only that, but love is not always pacifism, and certainly never surrender, placation, or pandering. Love often must be tough. True love must feed the strength of defiance and resilience. True love for humanity motivates and undergirds a long and hard-fought revolution. There is no more powerful fight and no more potent and lasting justice than that achieved through the strength of love. While we absolutely need solutions that include specific, targeted, and radical action, without a baseline of much more potent, unflinching love, none of those specific solutions will be achievable or effective. Without love powering the engine, and especially when love is replaced by fear, the fight for freedom devolves into what we see happening: a compassionless, heartless, cowardly scramble to retain control, masquerading as a fight for freedom at the expense of true freedoms. The author, Bell Hooks, rightfully reminds us that only love can broaden concern to what is hurting the collective us. In her essay, Love as the Practice of Freedom, she goes on to explain that recognizing the incontestable humanity in each other requires giving up individual comfort and privileges. With all due respect to Bell Hooks, giving up comfort seems not a strong enough phrase. It will require confronting violent oppression head-on, as many have always been forced to do because of this country's foundation in white supremacy, and we all must do ever more powerfully going forward. The reality we are confronting now is that as radical love for humanity drives us to poke the bear more and harder, we have been and are going to be experiencing more of a desperately violent reactionary response, and likely for a long time to come. The struggle to kill or tame the bear that is hatred and fear will see many hurt and killed. But the good news is witnessing more reactionary violence means more people are taking action to fight for freedoms. Take heart that many people are loving bravely. Langston Hughes cautions in his poem Freedom that freedom will not come today, this year, nor ever through compromise and fear, so we must not be afraid. Inherent in that statement and in what I've said so far is another F word: faith. This faith is not of a traditionally religious nature. It is faith in humanity's ability to overcome. I tend toward rationalism, and so I have faith in what I can observe, using factual evidence to come to a conclusion. The rational facts are that ancestors have achieved more freedoms while surmounting incredibly high obstacles. The fact is that I have personally witnessed successes along the way to even more. When we sit at home alone cursing at the inconceivable wrong-minded thinking of so many, look to the many stories of people fighting and moving from that type of fear to freedom, of radical change that has and is made and sustained by loving communities of like-minded individuals with faith in themselves and others. The faith I am referring to is faith in the power and ability to love sufficiently to effect change that is progressive and revolutionary enough to sustain a society that has hit a giant roadblock, but ultimately is ever moving forward toward more and equal freedoms. Joining together in great numbers with love, I have faith we can succeed. When we leave here today, as that faith fades toward unattainability, and it will, recall Bell Hook's words that once we choose love, we instinctively possess the inner resources to confront that pain. She reassures us that moving through the pain to the other side, we find the joy, the freedom of spirit that a love ethic brings. Right now, as reactionary conservatives erroneously believe white people are under attack and fear a loss of control when there is an honest accounting of our country's racial history, MLK Jr.'s words, Frederick Douglass's words, Langston Hughes' words, and Bell Hook's words are censored or banned completely. Think about that for a moment. The thoughts, admonishments, and teachings of our most important American ancestors of freedom and the power of love will not be taught to American youth because it would hurt white people's feelings or make them look bad. That is unconscionable. People ask me what action they can take. That is one, never stop lifting up their words. Given where we are conceivably headed after January 20th, what else can we do? What does loving radically look like? We need to keep taking action toward justice together in community with like-minded people. We need to support revolutionary people and organizations. We need to do these things in spite of risk, allowing our fear to fuel our love. We need to shout to the rafters. As long as our fellow humans are held hostage and exploited by a capitalism that privileges the few over the many, we are not truly a free country. As long as the powerful and power-drunk can hold the country hostage with lies, deception, and fear-mongering to protect their wealth and dominion and assuage their irrational, bigoted fears, we are not truly a free country. As long as our transgender loved ones, our immigrant loved ones, our indigenous American loved ones, our loved ones of color, all our loved ones who are marginalized, othered, and dehumanized are threatened and killed, we are not a free country. As long as we remain unaccountable for our nation's crimes and continue to commit them, we are not a free country. And as we shout and we fight, we also need to be kind to ourselves by being aware that we need time to rest, by not feeling guilty about protecting our mental and physical health, by not criticizing ourselves if something we try doesn't work right away, or if we lose focus. It's impossible to direct our righteous love toward fixing what is harming society when anger is self-directed. Finally, we have to understand that there is no one right action or correct way and how we move from fear to freedom with faith must be continuously reevaluated. I have hope for America, not because we are the land of the free, but because I regularly witness brave people. I respect and love striving against great odds to move from fear to freedom with faith in humanity's ability to love. Frederick Douglass referenced Isaiah 59 to the crowd before which he spoke in 1852, reassuring them, "The arm of the Lord is not shortened, and the doom of slavery is certain." Allow me to say, he concluded, Notwithstanding the dark picture I have this day presented of the state of the nation, I do not despair of this country. I therefore leave off where I began with hope. Allow me to conclude with this. The reach of love is all-embracing, and its strength is unremitting. If Frederick Douglass had hope, given the state of the nation in 1852, I can have hope today. I therefore leave off where I began, that we can strive to be a land of freedoms only if we are indeed the home of the brave of heart and the brave of spirit.
Please stand in body or spirit for our final hymn. I believe it's number 155. Our closing words today are by Reverend Tess Baumberger, called Now is the Time. Now is the time for happiness, to stand up, unbowed the shoulders, unbend the back, and look straight into the world. Now is the time to finish mourning, to cast off sadness and any sullen role, and claim the title of hero, heroine. Now is the time to crack the steel that cages all that should be free, to guard their going in peace. Now is the time to discover each new molecule of the upturned self, pressing its seeds into fertile earth.
Hey there, are you still there?
Yep. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you? You're not at church.
I know. Well, my husband has COVID and I don't want
Oh,
to,
he does.
yes, I
I'm
don't want to
sorry,
be
David.
contaminated. Whoops, this
Oh,
thing over on my thing. I
you
don't want to
know,
be
it's not
contaminated.
gone. It's so
Huh?
frustrating. It's still around.
Oh, yeah. Well, we were at Princeton. It was a super spreader event, I can tell you that. There were so many people.
I'm
And we,
not surprised. Graduation. Oh, how did graduation go?
it went very well, but I
Good.
mean, just so many people.
I
It's
know.
just, you know, there were like 1,300 graduates and like Paige had 8 people. What if they all had 8 people? Do you know how many people that is?
That's a lot. Well, she's officially graduated. Yay.
Yep. And she's moved to Wisconsin. She's already there and
Oh my.
bought herself a new car
Oh
already.
my
I'm telling
gosh,
you,
you're kidding.
she's been busy.
Oh, Karen, that's amazing. Good for her.
I
I
know.
David's not too sick.
No, actually, he isn't at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Well, he was on, let's see, it was Thursday. We got home Tuesday. He was all right Wednesday, but I think toward the night he wasn't feeling that great. And Thursday he just felt terrible. And
Oh,
he had aches. It was mostly aches, and he had some upper respiratory, but I said test for COVID, and sure enough.
yeah.
But we got to the doctor, and she did I mean, we didn't go there. We contacted her, and she had us do a Zoom visit and
Yeah.
started taking Paxlovid, and it was amazing. I don't know that, but yesterday he all that discomfort was gone, and he was
Good.
hardly. And today he just sort of has a little bit of a gravelly throat, and he's
Yeah.
bored to tears.
Yeah. I know exactly.
I've got him confined to his room, although today I said you could come downstairs and wear a mask while you're here.
Oh gosh. Well, I hope you don't get it.
I hope not too. I mean, I've been trying, I'd wear a mask whenever I'm with
I
him,
know. I mean,
but I
I've been
feel
wearing them
fine.
more since I had it a few weeks ago.
Yes,
Chris didn't get it when I had it, and I took
he
Paxlovid,
didn't.
felt fine.
Yeah. You took the Paxlovid too?
I
Did
did.
you,
And
did you, did you feel like it helped you?
absolutely.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think it seems like it's
Um,
really
yeah,
very
the doctor
effective.
is big on it. She said, "Oh yeah, we'll put you right on Paxlovid and you'll be
Yeah,
fine. But stay in for I think it's 5 days, they say."
5 days, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, she gave me a prescription too in case I
Oh,
need it.
really? Oh, good.
Yes, that
Oh,
was
good.
nice.
All right.
Yeah,
So you can test and see how you are. And
yeah. Well,
good.
I mean, I don't have any symptoms, so I
No,
haven't
wait.
tested.
You don't need to test unless you have symptoms. But you know what? When I tested a few weeks ago, that I tested because I was going to Nitwits and I had been
Yeah,
exposed. Allie had COVID.
yes, I
So
remember that.
I didn't really have symptoms when I tested. I did
Yeah.
have symptoms the next day, and that's why I
Oh,
called the doctor and went on the Paxlovid.
so when you tested the day before it, did it come out positive?
It came out positive,
Oh, it did.
but no
Oh,
symptoms.
right.
So,
Well, I have a meeting Wednesday night, so I'll test before that.
oh,
If
that's
I
good.
if I don't have symptoms, well, I would test it if I did, but just to go there with people.
I
But I
know.
didn't feel like I should go to church.
I'm so surprised that it's still out there. Well, and I wasn't at church because I was coughing all evening, and I tested again today, and I
Yeah,
tested negative. So I was
yeah.
a little worried, and I figured I don't want to pass anything on to anybody.
No, I know. That's how you feel.
But I'm headed
You
back
know,
up to the farm.
when you see, I was noticing the service here on Zoom. like it's probably my computer, but like the music doesn't sound really
Actually,
nice like in church. Do you?
actually, I have found that sometimes the music has been horrible on the online. However,
Oh,
today I thought it sounded fine.
oh, you did.
So
And
it
I
may be
had
your
trouble,
computer.
some of the, because they're reading a lot, I had
Yeah.
trouble getting it all. I turned my computer audio up all the way and I tried to check the audio, on the speaker thing and it didn't have a thing for me to turn it up. So I don't know if
Oh,
how that works. I'll have to ask somebody.
huh. Anyway, yeah, the sound over Zoom has been a little bit not quite
Sometimes,
great,
yeah, okay. That
but
makes sense.
I thought it sounded okay today. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to go. Good to
Okay.
see you, and congratulations to Paige. Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's nice.
Yeah.
We won't have any more for a while, I'm sure. Which is good. I was exhausted, 4 days of running around to this
I
thing and
bet.
thing.
I bet.
I'm not used to that.
All right.
But
Take
hopefully I'll
care.
see you soon.
My best to David. I'll be around
Okay,
time.
thanks.
Who knows when?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let's see. How do I do this? End.